The most dangerous seller in the market right now isn't your neighbor, it's the builder. And while you're refreshing Zillow multiple times a day, they're moving $20 million before lunch. They have entire departments dedicated to doing one thing, and that is making the monthly payment feel safer than yours. The builders are financially engineering the real estate market, and they're winning.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Jeez.
Not because their homes are better, but because they have figured out something that most agents haven't, which is that buyers are looking for the least stressful decision in areas like the mortgage payment, insurance risk, repair exposure, and how much of their cash disappears once they get to closing. That's what buyers are comparing when they walk through your front door. Maybe that's what keeps you up at night too. And in response to this, a lot of the advice that sellers are getting is just drop the price. I think that's a little bit lazy and not where you should start. Let's go back a little bit. There was a time when everyone important was carrying a BlackBerry. They just loved that keyboard. But Apple saw something different. They had a vision that people wanted something more intuitive that understood them and made things easier. But BlackBerry kept trying to solve the wrong problem, and people just moved on without them. A lot of the real estate industry is behaving the same way right now. Sellers are getting coached on granite countertops and price per square foot, while the buyers are asking a completely different question, which is, which option is least likely to hurt me later? The builders have already seen this, and they have built an entire sales machine around one idea: certainty sells. But there still is one thing they can't do, and this is where a resale home can still win. The builder will buy your rate down, pay your closing costs, pay your agent's fee. In some cases, that adds up to about $40,000.
Whoa, that's a genuinely shocking fact.
Lennar, on average, right now, nationally, is contributing about $60,000 per home. They will offer warranties on everything. They have turned the transaction into a product. The thing they can't offer is your lot, your location, the school district, the community that took 30 years to build. Resale homes usually lose out to the builder for one reason. The buyer experiences all of the uncertainty of the home at once. One big emotion. It's not a checklist of things like what's going on with the roof? Is it original? What's happening with the HVAC system? What's going to break after I close escrow? All of this stuff at one time. Our job is to eliminate that feeling before they ever get to your house. And that means understanding the builder situation within 3 miles, understanding how their incentives work, and building a strategy for you that makes your house the cleaner, smarter, less riskier choice, not just the cheaper one. At this point, a lot of sellers start feeling defeated. They want to put retirement off, put their plans on hold, forget about the listing, and they want to gamble on a future market that's highly unlikely to come back. We don't beat the builders by standing down. We beat the builders by removing doubt. Before D-Day, Eisenhower spent years on the victory plan. But once they hit the water, smoke, confusion, missed landings. And the officers that made it weren't the ones who clung to the original plan. They were the ones who saw the situation on the ground as it was and course corrected immediately. The real estate market rewards sellers who do the exact same thing. To be fair, the market has been confusing over the last couple years. It wasn't that long ago that buyers were waiving inspections, bidding over asking. Homes were selling very, very quickly. So when a seller feels some disorientation, it makes perfect sense. What's happened is that the market has changed faster than sellers realize. If you're considering selling your home, there's a very good chance that you've been scrolling and you're seeing price reduction after price reduction in your neighborhood. You're watching homes just sit on the market and the days on market going up. And you might be wondering, is this even possible right now? Well, when we get together, we start with positioning, meaning, what is the competition for your home? Who is the most likely buyer for this property and what are their options? What are the builders doing? Where do you win that competition and where do you need a little bit of help? It might mean that we start off with a pre-listing home inspection to relieve the anxiety that a buyer might feel. And it might mean that we fix 3 things and leave these 10 alone. Earlier this year, I worked with a seller who had a property in a community where almost nothing was selling. Multiple competing listings, roughly about a 9-month supply. It was really easy to look at a situation like that and say, abandon ship. Put the plans on hold. We're going to rent the property out. Instead, we looked at the property from the buyer's point of view. Buyers are already overwhelmed, so we made a deliberate decision to take all the uncertainty out of the sale. The seller updated the flooring, addressed all the inspection issues up front, and we positioned the property around confidence and move-in readiness instead of what everybody else was doing, whatever that was. The property listed and closed within 39 days. The sellers who win right now aren't the ones that are accepting the least. They're the ones that are meeting the moment right now before the buyer swipes left. This market has been genuinely hard to read if you're not inside of it. Here's something worth knowing. Only 35% of homes right now that get listed every month actually sell. And that means that there is a lot of momentum behind going along and just getting a listing signed, but not a lot around what it takes to actually sell it. If we sit down together, this is what our conversation would be about. What is your competition? Where does your house win that competition? Where might buyers hesitate? And also, what could you realistically walk away with? If you would like to have a strategy session like that, just hit reply to this email. I'm Tania Michaels, and this is where decisions get made.